The guy's name is Brian Johnson. I don't know where he came from, but all of a sudden, within the last year, the guy has made a huge impact on social media. He showed up on social media, and suddenly he is the toast of the town. Now, he's got a physique on him that is like a bodybuilder. He's a guy who's 45 years old, ripped to shreds. He's got veins popping out everywhere. Now, listen, I work out hard. I want to look good. You want to aesthetically improve how you look. You want to be healthier. I have no problem with this guy being in shape. Now, he's a multiple business owner and just suddenly made a huge splash in the scene. I'm going to show it on my chat right now. You can go to joepags.com and click on Watch Now, and you'll see I'm going to put up his Instagram. Just says Liver King. He's verified. 1.7 million followers.
And he's actually eating, I'm looking at some of these pictures, raw liver.
Yes. And again, God bless him for getting himself in shape. I'm going to scroll down a little bit here. The guy is in unbelievable shape. There are pictures of him eating raw liver, pictures of him pulling sleds, pictures of him eating testicles and bone marrow and everything else. And if you're watching these pictures as I scroll through, this guy is absolutely jacked. Just jacked. And you think, well, why is this a story, Pags? Why do you care? I've been watching this guy develop his social media for the last year. And I haven't said a word about him on the show because there's really nothing to say. God bless him. He's making a bunch of money. He's doing well. He sells supplements. He's got these tenets that he lives by in life. And just absolutely shredded. But the problem is, people keep asking him, are you natural? And he keeps saying, yes, 100% natural. Are you taking any PEDs, performance-enhancing drugs? Nope, not taking any PEDs. Okay. I'm just using my supplements, says Brian Johnson, the Liver King. That's how he got big like this. If you take my supplements and live the kind of life I live, you too can look like this. Now, if you're watching it, as I'm showing it, the guy is in the kind of shape that you cannot continue to be in 24/7, 365. You just can't. A human being can't. And at 45, he's gained a ton of muscle. It doesn't make any sense. So he's asked over and over and over again, are you on something that would supplement your ability to look like this? Now, the first telltale sign that there's something going on is how distended his stomach is. He's got an 8-pack, if not a 10-pack. He is shredded and ripped, but he's got a belly that sticks out. That tells people, well, maybe we should ask about human growth hormone. But again, let me go back to the freedom and liberty of it all. Do I care if this guy is taking testosterone, human growth hormone, fill in the blank other crap? Do I care? Not really. It's his body. Do what you want to do. Get in the kind of shape you want to get into and enjoy. Here's the problem. Since he burst into the scene, and again, he's only been a social media amazement for about a year. Over that year, Carrie, he made $100 million.
Wow. Okay.
$100 million. And he's trying to sell Liver King supplements. And he's selling a lot of them. Now, how old are your kids?
15 and 18.
Yeah, you've got two very athletic boys, 15 and 18. And they tune into the Instagrams and they see Liver King. And he says, I'm 100% natural. Never taken anything. I only live by my tenets in life. I only supplement bone marrow and raw meat and raw fish, and this is how you can also do it. You too can look like me if you buy my crap. That jumps into a different realm for me. Because now you're making an assertion that I just have to buy your stuff, and I can be dedicated to working out, which I am, and I will be that muscular, that big, that ripped 24/7 just by living the way the cavemen live. Well, 2 days ago, there's a guy in Canada named Derek. I don't know his last name, but he's got a YouTube channel called More Plates, More Dates, which is a dumb name, but he does incredible content on there about bodybuilding, about the use of PEDs, and so on. And he's been talking about this guy for the better part of the year, saying, I would have a really hard time believing this guy is not on something. Well, he claims that he was sent an email that was sent by this guy, Brian Johnson, the Liver King, to a trainer asking for help in getting a list of performance-enhancing drugs. And if Derek's report is true, this guy, per month, Carrie, is spending $12,000 just on human growth hormone.
Whoa, wow. Okay. 12,000.
Now if you make it $100 million a year, I guess that's not a big investment to keep your body looking like it has to. And then he goes through the list of which kind of anabolic steroids he needs, what kind of fat reducers he needs, and so on and so forth. And again, you want to spend $12,000 a month on human growth hormone? Great. You want to spend $12,000 a month on whatever else it is that you want to take to look the way you want to look? I'm cool with you being free and liberated as long as it doesn't hurt me. But then when you turn to the camera and say, buy this tub of powder, and you too can look like me, that goes to a different place. And I'm not okay with it. And I do want to make a comparison to Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa back in 1998. Because baseball was all but dead. They had a strike. I don't think they had a World Series one year. They had a lockout. They had a strike. They had whatever it was. And for baseball to come back, you needed a home run season. You needed a summer of home runs. And all of a sudden, Mark McGwire, who when he came into the league was 6'5", 190, is now 6'5", 250, and he's hitting the ball 550 feet. And he ends up with 70 home runs that year, shattering Roger Maris's record of 61. Sammy Sosa ended up with 66 home runs, also shattering the record, but of course Mark McGwire had the record on his own because he beat him by 4. He said he was taking androstenedione, which is available at like GNC, which is a precursor to testosterone that can turn into testosterone and make bigger muscles if you work out, but it was legal. It turns out he's taken a lot more than that. In fact, in front of a congressional committee a few years later, he's crying like a baby about what he did and he shouldn't have done it. And the reason why that's a problem is not that Mark McGwire got bigger, stronger on some sort of steroid, or that Sammy Sosa did or didn't, or that Rafael Palmeiro did or didn't, or that Jose Canseco did or didn't. That isn't the problem. The problem is when you tell a kid who's growing up wanting to be like Mark McGwire or Sammy Sosa or Jose Canseco that you can do this by working as hard as we did and just naturally get to this level if you've got the talent, that was a lie. And that was defrauding the consuming public. Now, I don't know that Sammy and Mark and Jose and down the list, I don't know that these people were selling supplements and benefiting other than the bigger contracts to keep playing, other than the bigger money in merchandise that people were buying because they were lying about how they got there. But this guy, this Brian Johnson, this Liver King guy, this is egregious. This is, in fact, if what Derek from More Plates, More Dates said is true, and he shows an email that this guy, Brian Johnson, is not denied, by the way. If what he says is true, then this guy has profited from just boldly lying to people out in the public square. And that, to me, is a problem.